Howdy, folks. I'm Galliant Gallium, genially greeting green giants.
I'm Amber.
And here are more green giants that apparently, instead of eating vegetables, eat gallium for us to...
No, they don't eat gallium. Gallium is just greeting the green giants.
The green giants are eating the gallium.
No.
We all know this.
No.
Let's get started. Oh, and folks, before we begin, I just want to say that I do have a poll going out, and I'm just trying to figure out if people like scrolling better or the jump cuts for the different texts. So let me know what you like to see, and leave any comments too. Let's get started. Alright folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Ex-Boyfriend with No Money? My relationship with my boyfriend hit hard when we had to be apart. He needed more attention than I thought was normal, like wanting me to call him every few hours, otherwise he would assume that something was wrong. I couldn't have any friends that were guys. He would give me strange text backs when I hung out with my friends, like he was jealous. Then my best friend told me that she saw my boyfriend on Tinder. At first I brushed it off thinking that she must have mistaken someone else for him. But she went on to talk about the website that lets you check if your partner is on dating apps, even if you're not using them yourself. I was sure that I wouldn't find anything, but being pushed to do so, I decided to give it a try. Well, I found his profile with his picture and everything. He also had been active not too long ago. I called him immediately and he apologized, saying that he was just curious and it didn't mean anything. He said that I'm weird for using that app and he isn't sure that he can trust me. I felt like the ground had been pulled from under me, and I saw red with his audacity. In the heat of the moment, I filed a dispute with my bank so that I could get back some money that I had transferred to him to help him out. I got my money back pretty quickly, and he says that I'm a huge jerk because he has no money and won't until his paycheck comes in. He said that I gave him that money and can't just decide to take it back. Am I the jerk? And edit, for everyone asking, the website I used is Tinder profile search, and I haven't vetted that website, so I have no idea if that's a real website or anything like that, so I would proceed with caution if you were to click on that or go to that link. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. If he wants your money, he shouldn't have been playing around on Tinder. Also, his behavior seems controlling. It's also common for a cheating partner to get really suspicious that their partner is cheating on them.
Yeah.
So, like, if everything was good for a while, he could just be an abusive and controlling person who it just was the right time for those behaviors to come out. But he also could have been getting paranoid because he's cheating and now he's sure that you must be cheating too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's maybe an abusive, paranoid individual who's also cheating.
Yeah.
So we'll just put it all into the same lump. OP, I don't think that you're in the wrong here, but I would be careful about filing disputes because I think that there may be like some legal ramifications there. I'm not really 100% sure. I would make sure that whatever you do, that you're in the legal area for doing it, because I think sometimes when you file a dispute, it has to be that a charge that you didn't mean to happen or something like that. It can't just be, oh, I wanted my money back, right? So I would be very, very careful about that because there may be some legal stuff there, but I can't blame you for being angry with this guy, especially with all of the nonsense that he's put you through.
He just doesn't seem like a good partner. Anyone who wants to know constantly where you are, like even if someone just has anxiety, they have to be able to control it enough that like they're not constantly bombarding you with, where are you, where are you, where are you?
Yeah.
And like the not wanting you to hang around with guy friends too, like that's also really a not cool thing to do, and it is kind of controlling and shows that he doesn't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Okay, Adhesiveness 2555 says, not the jerk. He's full of double standards. It's absolute BS that he was just checking it out. And OP replies, I agree, sad face. And Jackson Love 3 says, not the jerk. Talk about projecting his feelings on you. He's the one who messed up, and now he says that he can't trust you. Get out of here. Need to stay broken up with someone like this. And OP replies, thank you so much. I feel guilty about him having no money, though. And I mean, I think that's a reasonable thing to feel guilty about, but I don't think that that's OP's problem at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you're going to sleep around on somebody, you have to expect that there are going to be consequences for that.
You can't expect them to keep supporting you financially.
Yeah. And we don't know for sure that he's actually cheated on her, but we do know that people go onto Tinder for hookups.
Right, and even if he hasn't cheated, like his controlling behavior is reason enough not to want to be with him. And
Yeah.
double standards.
Yeah. And not to mention, he probably still has family, and then there's food banks as well.
Yeah,
So,
and if he has friends, like it's not like OP is the only person he can turn to for financial resources, probably.
yeah, OP's not the only person, and they're not the last person, and he can always talk to somebody else. So, I know OP feels guilty about this because he doesn't have any money right now, but again, he can work things out and figure out what to do between now and the next paycheck. And I think they were saying that he has a paycheck next week coming or something like that. So it's a week. He can go to a food bank for a week or go and hang out at his friend's house and have them spot him a 20, right? Alright, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Nephew That His Present Was Sold Behind His Back? I'm angry, but I would like perspective. Throwaway, because my family uses Reddit. I'm unmarried and I do not have children, so I don't understand this situation from a parent's standpoint. I have a niece, Kay, 21, and a nephew, Joe, 16. My sister and her husband have spent the last few years, since the pandemic started, trying to get Kay sorted. By that, I mean that she has a lot of unexpected ailments. They've been seeing a specialist, chiropractors, acupuncture, etc. To this day, I'm still not entirely sure what's wrong. Kay posts on social media a lot about feeling fatigued, having migraines, weakness, and other symptoms, along with various appointments. Personally, I worry this is being driven by attention because it has become her entire personality. I try to help Kay when I can. I've taken her to a few appointments because she doesn't drive, and I've tried to be present mostly for Joe, who's overshadowed by all of this. Joe is a very simple young man and doesn't ask for much, but I can tell that he wants some attention. He makes this known by pushing himself in sports and getting the best grades and getting a job and trying to be as independent as possible. He's 16, but he acts like he's 20. It's kind of terrible to watch, though. For his birthday, I bought 2 tickets to a football game and transferred them to my sister so that she or her husband could take him to the game. I told them that if they absolutely couldn't, then I would, but they accepted the tickets. Fast forward to a couple weeks later, and I see a post from my sister selling 2 football game tickets, and they were very quickly bought. I confronted her and said that those tickets were for Joe. Her response was that they needed help covering new allergy testing for Kay, and that's what the money would be used for. I took Joe to lunch yesterday and asked him how he was doing. He was honest and said he doesn't feel like an equal member of his family, and I told him that I see that too. I asked him why he agreed to sell his birthday tickets and learned that he never did and never even knew about them. I told him the sequence of events. He was quiet for a bit and then sighed and accepted it. To my surprise, he must have said something to his parents because they called me for a conversation, accusing me of being a jerk and saying that I hurt Joe's feelings and that he was better off not knowing. I disagree. Oh, I disagree wholeheartedly, but am open to other perspectives. Am I the jerk? And yes, I'm trying to buy new tickets for Joe. Update. I'll respond to as many people as I can. I spoke with Joe individually today. I'm not surprised, but he said that he confronted them because he wanted them to give me the money back. As usual, the kid was thinking of others. While I don't want to be accused of trying to turn him against his parents, I do want to follow his lead in regards to him potentially staying with me. That said, I am going to make more of an effort to spend more time with him. As far as Kay is concerned, I know her health issues are very real, and I want more than nothing for her to feel better. However, she has been behaving manipulatively towards her parents, grandparents, myself, and Joe for a while now. Again, I worry that how she is dealing with her ailments is unhealthy for her and her family. We all support her and do what we can to support her and to help her be well. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
I mean, not the jerk for the Joe situation. We're going to push Kay to the side because I don't think we can speak about the validity of her medical condition. What was their expectation here? That they just never tell him so that Joe assumes that OP, one of the few people who actually is invested in his life, has just completely forgotten about him?
Yeah, I actually wondered about that myself. It seems really poor that they would make it seem like OP didn't get him anything at all for the
Mm-hmm.
birthday, right? And it was bound to come out eventually. Like, what were they
Right.
thinking? Like, when OP would, if they hadn't seen the football tickets get sold, they still would have asked him how he liked the game, if he
Right.
enjoyed going to the football game.
Exactly. And so it's just a really uncool move on the parents' part. And they stole from him. Like, this wasn't for them. I understand that finances are tough, but they have to find other ways. Or they could have asked Joe if
Yeah.
they could sell the tickets or something like that. I'm not saying they should have done that, but if they were really hard up for money, that would have been an option. But stealing is not the way to go here.
Yeah, I think that what they did here was wrong, and I think it was short-sighted, and I think it was going to backfire on them no matter what. And I understand that they're in a desperate position because it's not fun having a family member who's sick and you really want to do everything you can to make sure that they're well, but that also shouldn't come at the expense of other family members, and it shouldn't come at the expense of your child, your other
Mm-hmm.
child.
Well, and I think it's really a good thing that Joe has OP in their life. And it might be for the best if Joe does go stay with OP for a little while so that they can have someone who actually prioritizes them.
Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately, there are times when one kid just has, much more intense needs than the other. And parents still need to find a way to make time for the kid. And that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that he has someone in his life who's there for him, rooting for him.
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Teresa JS says, not the jerk, please take Joe to a game. And if you are able to do so, please put money on his lunch account and buy him some clothes. Nothing so expensive or flashy that his mom or stepdad would take them. Sponsor Joe for a bank account of his own and prepare to help him once he's 18. And OP replies, I'm not sure what is in place for his money, but you raise some good points. That's actually like if his money is actually getting taken from his by his parents, like if he's working these jobs and then that money is disappearing,
Mm-hmm.
then that's actually not a good situation. And Sherlock27 says, not the jerk. You should have taken him. Hindsight is 2020. And OP replies, I agree. I told them specifically that it was for one of them to spend some time with him. And if they absolutely couldn't, then I would. Gladly, of course. But my hope was that they would take this as a free opportunity to do so. And I think that's actually one of the sadder parts of this is that it was clear from the post that OP wanted them to actually spend time with their son who doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel like an equal part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're being neglected, right? And backgrounding cat says, now you know how much they want to have their son around. Do you have space and time and whatnot for housing him every now and again? And OP replies, oh, absolutely. He and one of his friends spent a weekend at my place a couple weeks ago. My door is always open to him and Kay, and they know this. And that's good that OP's door is always open to them. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. Amber, she's got a joke of the jovial Bobstein variety, and we are all big fans here.
What's the best way to call King Kong?
Well, I would start with his name.
Long distance.
Oh, long distance. Yeah, I mean, it would be best to not call King Kong when he's right up close to you. I mean, he's also really big, so I mean, unless you're like right up in his ear, everything is going to be long distance to King Kong. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday. I hope it's going well for you. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, please have it in the form of a terrible jovial Bobstein joke.
What do you get if you cross a controlling partner with Tinder?
You get a broke bloke.
Oh, that's good. That actually is way better than mine. I was gonna say you get an ex-boyfriend with no money.
I guess so. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.